why there is a need of research proposal mainly. Then we will discuss about how you can start thinking about research proposals when it's an open position. Okay, so you need to understand there are multiple PhD positions throughout the world, different kinds of PhD positions. Okay, so one kind of position is like when they have a predefined project and they just roll out the advertisement and you apply to the open positions. Second kind of PhD positions are like open-ended. You contact professor, professor creates a position or creates a position within himself or within his lab, and they hire you directly. So these, just a second. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Thanks for confirming. So I was explaining about multiple types of PhD positions throughout the world. When it comes to Europe, particularly, they ask you about research proposals to upload. Okay, so I'll start with one example, which is in Denmark. So for example, you would be applying in Denmark. You may see something like this. Just let me share. Okay, so there is a university named as Aarhus University in Denmark, and they generally release their open positions on basically job vacancies or vacant positions website. Okay, so what you can do is like you can just search Aarhus University vacant positions, and once you do that they will you just redirect to PhD positions, open PhD positions. So these positions are particularly curated by the professors. They would be basically having some funds about a specific project, and they would be releasing the basically open positions. So you need to understand open calls are different, ordinary open calls are different. This is where you just submit a research proposal from your own, and if university accepts, you would be getting a chance to work on your own project. But these predefined PhD projects are like professor has already prepared a project proposal for that, and they already have secured a funding for that. So now they have a project description here. You can see the qualifications, required qualifications, etc., and how to apply. So every time when you will be applying in Denmark, you would see something like this. It's not only about Denmark. Whenever you are applying to most of the European nations for PhD, you would see something like this. They would be having a portal like this. This is called as the people access application form. Okay, so throughout Europe, most of the universities follow this procedure, and there they have this requirement called as project proposal. So many of the professors are actually interested in knowing what exactly you want to do and what exactly you have understood from the research description that they have shared here, right? So by just reading this, you should know, you should basically able to understand or debunk what exactly the professor is working on to, and how it's related to you. So there is a set procedure for that, and that is why we have gathered here to discuss the research proposal format. So till now, do you have any questions? I'll jump to the latex template directly. Otherwise, you can directly unmute and ask if you have any questions. Okay. So since we are meeting this in this session for 30 minutes, I'll directly go to the demo of the research proposal that I have prepared for you. So I'll share the link. You can also access it. So I have shared a link in the Zoom meeting chat, and let me share my screen as well. Okay, I believe everyone know a little to less about latex. Who all don't know about latex here? Can I please get a quick confirmation that everyone knows about latex, or if anyone is there who don't know about latex? Okay, so I believe everyone knows a little about latex. Okay, Chandramali don't know about latex. So, okay, latex is kind of a tool, or you can say a kind of pseudo programming language which actually renders your code to a proper document format. Okay, it's kind of language, you can say. You need to understand all these commands so that equivalent data you can see in a proper standard format. Okay, it's used in making research proposals, it's used in making project papers, research papers, conference papers, journal papers, etc. Okay, and most of the universities in throughout the world also consider your CV, SOP, research proposal, everything in latex if you are applying for PhD positions. Okay, so I strongly recommend, if you are applying for a PhD position, please go through latex. And there's website called as Overleaf, which provides you online simulator for free. Okay, so it becomes very handy with this link. If you can, just open this link in your web page, and you can use the same template for your future research proposals. Okay, and it's generally, they have a standard format. Like, first you introduce the problem, introduce your project ideas, etc. Then you particularly mention about background and significance. You can also put previous research papers, or the references that you are going to study, right? So those references should be highlighted here. So you can use maybe books, you can use journal papers, you can use conference paper in background and significance. But background and significance holds the information with whatever that is already there, and is not quite directly relevant for your project, but it has some motivation ideas. Okay, so everything that's related to motivation and everything goes in this section. Then research objectives are generally in the bulleted format. Like, they will you should be adding research objectives in point wise manner. So let's say you are working on a specific XYZ project, right? So you would be explaining the primary objective here, and all the secondary objectives can be described in a second paragraph or in a point wise manner. Okay, then it comes about literature review. In literature review particularly, you are going to pick two or three research papers that are directly relevant. Okay, so remember that in background and significance we discussed about the papers that are not directly relevant but have a little motivation for your research project, while literature review consists of exact information or exact research paper that you are going to work on to. Okay, so there has to be three or four research papers that you might come across related to the project proposal, the project description, and then you just explain or summarize all that information in this section. Okay, and of course you would be citing all those papers so that it starts to appear in references. Then um, then after literature review, this is where you are going to give a little hint about research design and methodology. So this is something that you yourself has to write, but you can take ideas from different research papers that you have studied in section 4, right? So you can go over the ideas. It requires a domain expertise, basically. So if you have domain expertise, let's say in artificial intelligence you are applying, then you would be definitely mentioning like which technique or which methods you are going to use, right? Whether you are going to use transformers, whether you are going to use generative uh, pre-training networks, or you are going to fine tune anything, etc., right? So you have to basically perform all these activities, uh, basically mention everything section wise for this section 5. And then you have expected results. So this is the section that you can keep blank for initial time before submission, because what you need to do is you just keep some of the sections blank for your professor, or for the project investigator, for analysis. So if you leave these sections blank or mention that this section needs to be discussed with professor, then professor would be inquisitive about your work more. He would be happily discussing all these things in your interview. Okay, so this is a kind of strategy to get an interview call if you keep some things open ended as well. So that is their timeline is something that you can prepare on your own. Use maybe Gantt charts or any kind of charts and paste it here. Okay, and budget as well. So budget is something that needs to be discussed with the professor. So again, you can keep this section blank and mention that this section needs to be discussed with professor in the interview or later interview on approval, etc. Okay, so you can keep all these things open ended. And conclusion is something that you would be summarizing all your project description in one paragraph. Okay, the other thing that's not existing in this example document is the diagrams. So I strongly recommend you all putting some diagrams as well. So diagrams will actually help you to make your things visualize. uh, okay, so I have finished showing the demo. If at all you have any queries, please unmute and ask.
Sir, budget will be all over we mention, or like as per the project, like what kind of.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so this will be an ideal advertisement. Okay, PhD advertisement. So here they are escaping mentioning budget, right? So you also don't need to mention anything related budget. Whatever project description or project proposal you are going to submit is built on only this information. Whatever information is provided here. Okay, you don't need to add any logistical information like budget or timeline or etc. Timeline, you can for sure you can mention that this is a tentative timeline I am proposing, but it can vary as the project proceeds, right? But budget is something that they have in their own hands, right? You cannot explicitly mention anything, right? So that's why I'm suggesting to keep budget section as open ended and mention it as like maybe discuss, maybe it's matter of discussion with professor at the time of interview or after project acceptance. Okay, I hope that's clear.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I think
Yeah.
we will discuss about it with professor. That will be the good idea.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you need to mention it. See, it if you add this section in your proposal, it makes sure that you know about things. Okay, you know about standard operating procedure, how a PhD proposal works. But just to add a comment there, like it's a matter of discussion with professor, shows that okay, you are open-ended and you are flexible to discuss these things as well, right? So it shows professionalism basically, right? All right. Any more questions, guys? We
The
have
link
we have
shared is
15
not
minutes.
working properly.
Hi, Konik. Can you please be more louder?
Sir, the link you have shared is not
Mm-hmm.
working.
The link is not working.
Yes, sir, it is actually saying that uh, the link is restricted and I don't have any permission to open.
Is it the same case for others as well?
Yes, for everyone.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me
One
see.
permission, sir.
Okay, it's asking for permission.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me recheck. Can you see anything on my screen right now? No, right?
No.
Okay. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Try this link I have just shared with you. Is it working?
Yeah, it's working fine.
Perfect, perfect. So you can of course use this template which I have shared already, or you can download the source code and try to change a little on your own, whatever suits well. Okay. But I believe now it's I mean, at least it's a little productive for you to know about the research proposal format and all those things, right? At least for Europe. I mean, I would say you can follow the same practice throughout your applications worldwide, but at least for Europe, please follow latex or overleaf way of doing the research proposals. Okay, it will create an impact definitely. Okay, any more questions, guys? Okay, if there are no questions, you can maybe, if you get more questions, you can join next week. Otherwise, you can ask your logistic questions to the executive who has sent you the invitation. Now we will be disconnecting the call, and if you have any questions or if you want to meet me, you can meet me next weekend as well. Till then, bye
So
bye.
I have, sir, I have question
Mm-hmm.
related to research proposal. Like I see the advertisement on Aalto University. I think Norway, sorry, Finland.
Yeah, yeah.
So before applying that, they in advertisement they show like research proposal is required.
Okay.
So before applying that, there's like for the topic and for the topic we will contact to professor or like that we will prepare on the basis of like research paper.
Okay, so in Finland, they generally have a tendency to first discuss with professor whatever project you are going to work on immediately before application, or at the same time when you see the advertisement, you reach professor. Professor once approves your proposal, then only you submit it official way. Rather in Denmark or Norway, what happens is like you get a project advertisement already and you prepare it on your own, everything on your own, and submit it, and then professor approaches you. But in Finland specifically, you first reach professor. Okay, so you have to email professor initially.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for joining. We are going to cut the call now, and I really appreciate you joining in the morning. Bye bye.
Sir, hello.
Yes, Konik.
So, sir, I have a question.
Okay, please go ahead.
So, sir, you have discussed about the open positions where actually we need to prepare the research proposal in our own.
Mm-hmm.
So, sir, is there a possibility after we actually submit our research proposal, there could be a change in our project or?
Yeah, definitely. And believe me, that's going to be 99%. I mean, that is going to happen in 99% of the cases. Okay. Definitely your project ideas and project methodologies are going to change, but they just want what you have understood from the project advertisement, and how you can convince, or how much efforts you can put previously. So showing that you have worked on latex, you have prepared a document in latex or overleaf, show that you have seriousness in your work and your conviction to the application as well, right? So making, see, others would be submitting the research proposal in a word format or any document format, right? But making it as standardized and giving 30 minutes before submitting a application makes an impact. So it just requires a 30 minutes of pre processing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay then, guys, have a good day ahead. Bye bye.